shloka is very important for us. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due courses are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O son of Bharat, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Okay. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearances and disappearances of happiness and distress. According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, that is January and February. So Prabhupada is saying, actually this shloka is saying that this happiness and distress will come and go, like winter and summer. Okay. When there is a winter season, people feel very difficult, and then they say, oh, it's okay, now only 1 month is remaining, after that summer will be there and we will be happy. Like that people speak. And then summer comes, and then in summer they feel so hot, oh, it's too hot, it's too hot. And then people say, okay, now after some time there will be winter, so you will be happy. Like that people are having this idea. Okay. But thing is that every time summer is coming and winter is also coming. But thing is that nobody is able to understand that how these things are natural actually. They are always having this expectation that in winter they are having expectation summer will give happiness, summer is they are having expectation winter will, and it's keep rotating. Suppose somebody is 20-year-old, so last 20 years, 5 years, first 5 years if we leave, at least 15 years he is having the same cycle, but is still not able to understand the nature of the world or the system, how it is. So Krishna is saying, my dear friend, understand this. After winter it is sure that summer will come. After summer it is sure that winter will come. So why you are getting disturbed by this winter? Don't get disturbed. It has to come. It is the nature of the world. So don't get disturbed. Here mainly things are being discussed about this only. Previously also, previous shloka also it says that Dhiras tatra namayati. It is all natural thing. Why you are getting disturbed? It has to happen. Are Baba, you were a child, you have to become grown up, you have to become old, you have to change the body, right? So if that doesn't happen, then also people are in problem. And suppose somebody's child is 3-year-old, he is not at all growing, he is same 3-year-old, he is same small. So then if he is now 3-year-old, very chubby, small baby face, and he is not growing only. His same chubby face. How many years you can love the same face? So it has to grow. System has to go on. If that doesn't work, then also you are in problem. So Krishna is saying that it is the nature. After winter, summer is there. After summer, winter is there. So your life, what you feel like happiness and what you feel like distress, they are also like that. After happiness, distress is sure. After distress, happiness is sure. So when you are when you feel that you are happy, actually happiness and distress both. See, somebody will ask, why Krishna is saying Tam Titikshau Bharata? Happiness, if there is distress, somebody will say, okay, my dear friend, tolerate it. It will go. Achhe din aayenge. They will say good days will come, don't worry. And tolerate it. Distress will go. Okay, nice. But why Krishna is saying tolerate happiness also? Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada. Sukha and Dukkha. Both Krishna is saying you tolerate. Because actually the what you are feeling like happiness, it is not actually happiness. So what you feel happiness is a great cheating, because in distress at least you feel our distress, and you may go to Krishna also. Krishna, please help me. I want to come out of this distress. But what you feel like happiness is the greatest cheating, because in that many people forget Krishna. So Krishna, don't get too excited when you are happy, and don't get too like lamenting situation like when you are in distress, because this is like winter and summer. It will come and go. Don't become happy too much, because today you got so many nice things, so you're so happy. Distress is coming. Okay, when the 4 months of summer will be over, winter is coming. Wait, and that's why people are not people having little sense now. Winter is there, so they will use winter clothes and they will keep them safe, because next year winter has to come. It's not winter over, throw it away, everything now over, finished. Some people do that also. Give it everything, but they're fool. But intelligent people will keep safe properly, and they'll put some those round balls and naphthalene also, that no insects comes in our cloth, although we have to purchase again. So they know winter is coming. Again next year it will come, so I have to be ready. So same way we have to be very, distress will come. And not distress, why to lament? Happiness will come, because that's the way system is designed by Krishna. And anyway, whatever is happiness, it's not actual happiness, because actual happiness doesn't exist in this world. It is dukkhalaya. Okay, like you are, suppose somebody is living in city called London. Always he has a feeling that I am in London, so I should also have feeling I am in dukkhalaya. So always expect that dukkha is coming, and if happiness is coming, one should be clear that there is some cheating going on. Okay, like you went to a restaurant to eat nice dinner, and one person comes there and said, which book would you like to read? Should I bring this novel, that novel, this writer, that writer? What would you like to read? This kind of question in a restaurant. So no, I came here to eat something. So he went, other fellow came, same question. So sir, which magazine should I bring for you? What is this? Then you will think I came to wrong place. Everybody, and you are seeing others also. Everybody is reading only, sitting in different tables, and they are just reading and reading and reading. Then you will go out and you check the board. This is library, pustakalaya. This is not bhojanalaya. This is not restaurant. Oh, this is my mistake. So I wanted food. So let me go to some restaurant. So that's why now you are in dukkhalaya. Me too. So we all are in dukkhalaya. And if somebody is offering us some happiness, what we have to think of, right? So there may be some cheating. So Krishna is honest. He said, dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world's definition, we may think this world is so wonderful, but Krishna found only 2 words to describe it. What is that? Dukkhalaya ashashvatam, place of misery and temporary. And both 2 things only people are not able to understand. These are the glories of Krishna's words. 2 words only. Everybody is, this is dukkhalaya. Everybody wants happiness here. One mistake. Okay. This is temporary. Everybody think everything is permanent. I am going to be cute whole the life. Just I have to apply some Fair and Lovely, and I will remain young like anything. Many great film actresses, they committed suicide just why? Because the hair started becoming white or grey. You may know the name of very famous actress Marilyn Monroe. She got depressed when she saw her first hair, and she was the world famous actress. Many. So we should know the nature of the world. It's temporary, and some people get too depressed. My career is not going on. Oh no, it will come up. Everything will come. Everything is temporary. Distress, that's also temporary. Happiness, that's also temporary. Everything will keep. changing. Summer, winter, winter, summer. Okay, so tolerate both. सुख में ज्यादा फूलो नहीं, दुख में ज्यादा रो नहीं. Be equal. धीरज तत्र न मुह्यति, because it is the nature's law. It's like that. Okay, just tolerate it, worship Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, and get out of it. Okay, so like I said, na, person, if he is intelligent, it's good for person to understand very quickly that I am in library, not in restaurant. Okay, so as early as he understand, he will go to right destination. So as early as we understand that we are in Dukhalaya, we will put effort to come out of Dukhalaya, and we will search the address of Sukhalaya or Anand, the place of bliss, and the process to reach that place, and the person who can guide us to reach that place, and the favorable environment which can make us easier, our path easier to reach that place of bliss. 5 things. First thing, I must understand where I am. So I am in place of misery, place of the place which is temporary. Second thing, where is my goal? Actually, where I want to go? So I want to go to the place of Ananda, and the permanent place, eternal place, Sanatan place, which is Goloka Vrindavan, which is Nitya Dham, right? And this every moment there, happiness and bliss is increasing. Ananda Mudi Vardhanam Pratipadam. Every step, Ananda is increasing there. So I want to go there. That's my goal. Third thing, what is the process? How can I reach there? Chant Hare Krishna. Follow the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Instruction of Srila Prabhupada's Gurudev. So Shravan Kirtanam. This is the process. Chant Hare Krishna and hear Krishna Katha and Kirtan. This is the process for Kali Yuga. Who can guide me in this process? Gurudev, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada. What is the favorable environment? Association of devotees. Right? Because everybody is going to watch a particular movie, and I am also going. We have the same mood. But if you want to go to watch a movie, all are saying, this is waste, this movie is waste, then you also will feel discouraged. That's what you do, no? Amazon, when you purchase, you do the reviews. Worst product. Then you don't buy that, right? So that's why if you are in favorable environment, everybody will say Krishna is nice, Krishna loves you. You feel enthusiastic, you go to Krishna. But if you are in the association of atheists, non-devotees, what they will say? There is no God. God है तो उसको मेरे सामने लाओ. Bring in front of me. Where is the God? I don't see God. See, I did this thing, and I am successful in my life. I have these many houses, these many buildings. I never worship God. What is the need of God? Then people will say, right? And if you go to devotee, he also have many houses. He also have many cars. Then what is this? Baba, I am not doing anything. It's all Krishna's mercy. See, Krishna is so merciful. He is giving me so many things. So, favorable environment. So, 5 things. Okay. So, Prabhupada is saying further some more nice, wonderful points. That according to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning. Even during the month of Magh, it is like too much cold in the month of Magh. But still, one should take bath early in the morning. As one should get up before at the time of Brahmurta and take bath. It is very cold at that time, but in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principle does not hesitate to take his bath. Okay. If one wants to follow, he will not hesitate. Okay, he will do it. Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the month of May and June. Tolerate. Prabhupada is trying to teach us the principle of toleration. Right? Because women will cook. Even it's like May, June in India, it's too hot. And especially in North India, UP, Vrindavan area, it's too hot. But women are cooking. Right? The hottest part of the summer season. One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Whatever climate is there, you have to. Now what? It's too dangerous situation now. Thus, Prabhupada is saying wonderful example, and we can discuss in present situation also. It's too difficult, right? If you go out, you may get infection, right? Particular disease is going on, but still people are going out. Still they are doing their duties. They have to do. They know this can cause them a big. It is a big risk, right? But still they are going or not. So particular duties has to go on. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. And although one has to fight with some friend or relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duties. So Prabhupada is saying that Arjuna should fight. Arjuna should fight as his prescribed duties. One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of religious principles in order to rise up to the platform of knowledge. Because by knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya. So when knowledge is there, then only one can think like that. That what is necessary, what is not necessary. Right? So being a Kshatriya, he should know what is my prescribed duty. And even you go more little deep, so beyond being Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, who am I? So, Jiva Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. I am eternal servant of Krishna. I have to understand that and I have to serve Krishna. So, whatever happens, whether it is winter, cold, whether it is happiness, distress, I must chant Hare Krishna. That's my eternal duties. Okay, I am a boy, I am an Indian, I have so many upadhis, designations, but below all these designations, what is my root designation? I am soul, part and parcel of Krishna, servant of Krishna. So what is my duty? Serve Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. By serving, by chanting and hearing Krishna Katha and chanting His holy name, I can serve Krishna. Right? So that is because it is my original identity. So based on that original identity, what is my original duty? That I must do it. It must go on. Right? So whatever happiness or distress, whatever situation in the life, one must not stop chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, whatever, whether you have too busy schedule in the office, too busy schedule in the home, and many relatives, a marriage party, or any happiness situation or distress situation, whatever situation it may be. But your soul, you are eating, na? Right? Even though if somebody dies in the home, we are eating, right? So why can't we chant also? So further, the two different names of address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as Kaunteya signifies his great blood relations from his mother's side. Kaunteya, Kunti's dynasty, and a very great king Kunti Bhoj. And to address him as Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side. Okay, so he is not some simple fellow. His mother's side also glorious, his father's side also glorious. Both the dynasties are glorious dynasties. From both sides he is supposed to have a great heritage. A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duties. Therefore he cannot avoid fighting. Krishna, see, these names are very important. Krishna saying, you are Kunti's son. A Bharat dynasty fellow you are, and you are talking like this. I will not fight. What is this? Modern days, in present situation also say, hey, what kind of, like somebody is living in abroad. They say, you are Indian, Baba, at least you should not do this thing. Like that people will say. Or sometimes people say, you are from such a learned family. Everybody in your family is doctor, everybody in your family is IS officer and deputy. What kind of thing? You must study. So child will say, Baba, my parents are all big fellows, my mother's side all big fellows. If I don't study, what people will say? So same way Krishna is saying, Kaunteya, he is like making comment, Kunti Putra, how can you talk like this? Bharata, Maharaja Bharat was so powerful, what you are putting his name down? So same thing, Arjuna, Krishna is trying to build this thing, okay? You must fight, you are putting other two dynasties' name down. So we also have to think in that way. Now somehow or other, by the only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are also connected to the topmost dynasty of Achyuta. When one accepts Krishna Diksha in our ISKCON Brahma the Gaudiya Sampradaya, they are Gotra chains. They are now Achyut Gotra, right? So our dynasty also, so if I am not preaching, what people will say? Just see your Guru Maharaj. He is giving his life to preach, and you are simply sitting and putting excuses. Oh, I have this pain, oh, I have that pain, oh, I don't know English, oh, I don't know Hindi. What is this? Do something. You can't speak. You can serve other who is speaking. You can cook. You can clean the temple. Something you should do. Do some service. Look at your Guru Maharaj. Look at the Prabhupada. 70-year-old. He went in cargo ship. What kind of Prabhupada follower are you? So that's why our dynasty. One has to identify. There is another problem. People take Diksha, they don't identify themselves with the parampara. They still think I am this Panditji, I am this Trivedi, I am this Nayar, I am this Subramanyam, and all this. They still have those designations and identifications. Arababa, you are now initiated. Think about it. So, if I am planning to take an initiation, I must build these things and I must learn these things. That new name you got, everything you got new. Guru Maharaj burnt all your karma. What is this now? Whatever is there, you are going to put in that yajna. Okay, so like that we have to understand that. Then now we are trying to, people who are initiated, they are already connected in the parampara, and who are trying to be initiated, who are preparing, aspiring, they are going to take admission in that great sampradaya, great. This is one of the greatest. I'm not putting others down. But even if when Mahaprabhu wanted to take, he accepted this sampradaya, right? All sampradayas are great, there is no problem. But what is the present one? Present one is Mahaprabhu's followers, right? Mahaprabhu came, Krishna himself, he came and he accepted from this. Right? So we are Mahaprabhu's follower. What people will say if I am not preaching? I am having great faith in yajna, havan, swaha, and in other ritualistic processes, but I am not having faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. What kind of follower I am? What people say, you are Mahaprabhu follower, that's why you are doing Havan, huh? Mahaprabhu, Harer Name Kevalam Sankirtanam Kalau Yuge. Right? So, one should understand. And one should, Mahaprabhu, Yar Deko Tare Kaho Krishna Updesh, preach message of Krishna. That is Mahaprabhu's instruction, Prabhupada's instruction. Preaching is the essence. Whatever we are doing it for preaching, greatest benefactory activities. This is, people are so much in charity nowadays. This is the biggest charity one can do. Giving the message of Krishna, giving the address of their eternal father to them, eternal home to them. So that's what we have to think, and we have to help and assist our previous acharyas, our Guru Maharaj, Sri Prabhupada in the movement. If at all we want to be called as the Gaudiyas or Vaishnavas, like that. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. If there is any question, kindly ask. Hare Krishna.